Amazon FBA in 2025 is very difficult. And I'm sure you guys noticed that, right? Because back when I first got started in 2018, it was as simple as coming out with any private label product, going to Alibaba, basically offering the same exact thing that's listed on Amazon right now, and you'll make a killing. And why did that work? Well, that's because there were so many shoppers on Amazon and not a lot of sellers. So when that happens, you're able to take up a majority of a piece of a pie. Now, when Amazon FBA is popular, and it's probably not most popular, but I think Amazon FBA became really popular in 2021, 2022, it is still very competitive, right? Especially with Chinese sellers. And I think there's good news now that China or Amazon's going ahead and giving tax information to China. So now these Chinese companies are able to kind of have less loopholes available for them, but they're obviously still going to compete on price. They're always going to be the cheapest product on Amazon. Why? Because they have connections in manufacturing. They know manufacturing. They know people who manufacture. So they can go ahead and always find a cheaper person to create a product. But what is an advantage that Amazon sellers in the US or everybody else other than China have? Well, that's the opportunity of knowing exactly why customers purchase. And this is kind of like marketing 101. And the reason why I'm making this video is because nowadays your goal should not be to just make a little bit of extra side money. It should be to build a business that has exit value. And what I mean by that is, yes, you'll be able to make money month to month, get a good wage, be able to buy yourself a house, be basically the breadwinner of your actual family, but also to have the potential to exit your business for the life-changing amounts of money. We're talking about multiple 6 figures, multiple 7 figures. And you can only do that by understanding principles. And I want to go ahead and coin this kind of phrase, right? Because the margins are in the pain points. What I mean by that is that everybody on Amazon focuses on one thing, and that's like the features of your product. Mine is bigger, so that means mine is better. This is why I warrant a higher price. But the people that warrant the higher price is because they understand who's purchasing the product, right? Because every single product must have a customer avatar. Because if you're targeting everybody, you're targeting nobody, right? So if you understand the ideal customer, right, and understand their pain points and basically create your listing on how you're solving those pain points, you can literally charge double the amounts. And look, I'm one of the only people on any social media platform that tells you the products that I sell, right? Like I sell Maverick, I sell Factory Lace, I have Nudry Labs, and I will continue to do that because I have a moat, right? Like I have contracts with my suppliers. I have understanding as far as who my customer avatar is. I have some manufacturers where they only work with me because I order so much in volume. So I have that moat where in reality, people that are not comfortable sharing what products they go ahead and have basically don't really have an Amazon FBA business. Okay. So let me kind of go over what I want to go over in this actual video. And that's understanding marketing 101. And people give education a bad rep. They give colleges a bad rep. But if you understand principles, especially marketing principles, you're going to be ahead of 90% of Amazon FBA sellers. And I want you guys to take a lot of notes here because I put this team together as far as like what I think based on me selling on Amazon for the last 7 years. What is important now and basically all the way until 2030? Because if you can master all of this, you're going to build a business not only to have higher margins in your competition, but to have the exit velocity and being able to sell your Amazon FBA business in 1 to 3 years. All right, so marketing principles, every Amazon brand should go ahead and master. And this is the difference between product sellers and the valuable exit ready brands. And why does this matter in general, right? Well, Amazon is no longer just a product marketplace. It has evolved into a strategic brand warfare. And that's what I mean by there's so many people going ahead and teaching Amazon FBA, which again, people can go ahead and try and teach how to make a quick buck or try and make, $1,000, $2,000 every single month, which is fine, right? Like that should be a goal for a lot of people. But the end goal should always be to build an exit ready business. But the main thing is that you have to understand that you have to be able to position your business to be able to be sold eventually, right? I'm not saying that that should be the goal in 6 months, but I'm saying that you should be able to run such a tight ship that you're doing everything right from the beginning to put your brand in position there. So these marketing principles separate businesses that get acquired from those that get stuck, right? Like there's a lot of businesses that you can't sell, right? Maybe you don't have enough margin. Maybe you don't have enough contracts with your actual supplier. Maybe you don't have net terms, right? Stuff that you might not think right now. But if you go ahead and polish all these things up, you will have a business that is worth acquiring. And their foundation is sustainable competitive advantages and the language that sophisticated buyers speak when evaluating brands' worth. And look, you're getting advice from someone that actually purchases Amazon FBA businesses. So I go ahead and run them, I purchase them, and I know exactly how brokers look at deals as well. And the first thing I kind of want to go over is game theory, right? This is one of the marketing principles 101. And that's kind of playing to win, right? And what I mean by game theory in this case is that Amazon is a competitive game where every move you make triggers a reaction. If you're on a deal, if you're on a coupon, if you lower your price point, you're not only being affected by it, but your competitors are going to go ahead and do something as well. This is why whenever I do talk to students about Amazon FBA, they always tell me, well, X competitor is going ahead and running a deal, right? Or, should I be running deals on Amazon FBA? Where should I price my product? If I price my product that way, how should I go ahead and advertise, right? So everything as far as game theory just means if my competitor or I make a move, how am I going to react? How is my competitor going to react, right? So your pricing changes after affect a competition, right? Your ad spend influences their strategy. Understanding this basically is crucial. Like, so what do you do when you show up at the top of, search on Amazon PPC, rest of search, product pages, right? Certain competitors, right? So asymmetric environment, the goal isn't just to move, it's to create asymmetry, right? Your strategic action should benefit you significantly more than your competitors can go ahead and respond. This creates sustainable gaps in the market position. And this is why I always tell everybody that if you understand your customers' pain points, you can go ahead and charge a premium price. And if you're able to charge a premium price, right, more than your actual competitors and outsell them, now when you run deals, you are leaving them in the dust. There's a reason why with Maverick, I am the highest basically priced weighted vest. I am the highest priced chest pack. And I consistently have a bestseller badge on my chest pack. Why is that? Because I understand when people go onto my listing page, why they would want to purchase my chest pack. I understand their pain points. I'm not talking about features all the time in my actual product. I'm actually going ahead and talking about how this is going to go ahead and make you feel when you buy my actual item. We're going to go over this in a little bit, right? So strategic positioning as well. What does this mean? Winners think 3 moves ahead. They anticipate competitive responses and position themselves where retaliation is costly or ineffective. This is how category dominance begins. Again, if I run a deal during a month, a lightning deal, a best day deal, I go ahead and do brand tailored promotions, I run Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals, I'm doing this because I know that my competitors cannot run deals. Why? Because most of my competitors are Chinese competitors and they're already squeezed to the brim as far as going ahead and having their margins. So they can't run deals. I have the advantage to run deals. And what is Amazon FBA? It's a conversion machine. Meaning, if I can out-convert my competition, I will outrank them. If I outrank them at a higher price point with higher margins, I make more money than them and squeeze them even further. What is this? Game theory. They cannot react to that, right? But I can only do that if I understand other principles when it comes to Amazon FBA. So let's go over the basics, right? Whenever you take a marketing 101 class, they go over the 4 Ps. And this is basically the foundation of a brand power. And what does these 4 Ps start with? Product, right? So this is obvious. What you sell and how it's designed. It creates a foundation of perceived value. So is it going to be a more quality? Is it going to offer more features? Is it innovating? Is it a ladder up to a brand differentiator? So I love going ahead and using this ladder up approach. And I always tell people, you do not want to be the cheapest item. And let me tell you why. So ladder up approach. You want to be the second tier of an actual product. And this is going to be a long video, but if you guys truly grasp what I'm going ahead and trying to tell you guys here, you're going to be above 99% of the competition. So I'm going to actually use a ladder up approach with an example of a ladder, right? So if you go shopping on Amazon and you look up ladder, there's going to be so many different price points. So let me give you an example of you trying to be the next tier in ladders and how that initiates a higher margin. So let's say you just became a homeowner and you're going on Amazon and you're looking up a ladder, right? Maybe because you're not handy whatsoever, you're going to go on Amazon and you're going to try and find the cheapest ladder possible, right? Because that fits your needs. But the cheapest ladder possible is not going to have a lot of margins. Why? Because there's going to be so much competition trying to go ahead and be sold at the lowest price possible. So now let's talk about you buying a ladder, but you being a handyman, right? Maybe you go ahead and do some projects around the house. Well, you bought that cheap ladder before and you understand the pain points as far as a cheap ladder. So now you're tiering up to a more premium ladder. But the reason why you're tiering up is because you had pain points of the original ladder that was super cheap, right? So that's the next tier up. But let's say you're such a good handyman, not only are you going ahead and getting a ladder or like going ahead and doing handyman stuff around your house, maybe you're doing it at friends and family's house, right? So now you need a compact ladder that's also really good premium or quality, right? So now you have a pain point, right? You have to go ahead and fit this ladder in your car, right? So now you have an accelerated pain point that's going to go ahead and have an accelerated cost as well. So now you're no longer competing with the cheapest ladders or the next tier up in ladders. Now you actually have a pain point. So now let's say you are a contractor and you have a bunch of employees and you bought in the cheapest ladder, you bought in the next step up ladder, you understand all these different pain points when it comes to ladders, right? So now you know exactly what you're looking for. And guess what? The people offering that premium ladder that understands pain points is going to be able to charge a way premium price. And now the actual margin is in the pain point because you understand those pain points, right? So again, that's product, price, right? Your pricing strategy signals brand positioning. It's not just about margin. It's about a statement where you belong in the market hierarchy. Again, think about that ladder hierarchy that I just mentioned before. You could be the cheapest ladder, but just know you're going to be squeezed to the brim, as opposed to that ladder for that contractor. Even though it's a lesser market, you can go ahead and demand a higher piece of the pie based on just pricing alone, right? So then promotion. How can you go ahead and communicate value through ads, content, and brand positioning? So this includes stuff like PPC strategy, creative assets, and off-brand building. When it comes to Amazon FBA and you launching a brand, do not focus on off-Amazon brand building. You're trying to be the number one person on Amazon. So only focus on Amazon FBA. So this goes ahead and gets basically your promotion being PPC strategy, lightning deals, best day deals, going ahead and running brand tailored promotions. And based on you understanding all that I just said, you have an advantage when it comes to promotions, right? So understanding PPC is probably going to be the most crucial thing when it comes to scaling your Amazon FBA business, which we'll go over a little bit later on. But last place, is place. Obviously, distribution and availability matters. On Amazon, that means listing optimization, FBA strategies, and how you show up across the marketplace ecosystem. So being able to have a listing optimization where you're targeting those pain points from your actual customer. And this is one of those main things as far as understanding how to create a listing. And the listing is created based on how you're solving pain points. It's not about features. It's not about you going ahead and having the biggest type of water bottle out there and yours is green. No, why, right? Like, why are you coming out with this product? Who is buying your actual product? And that's literally what listing optimization is about, right? Like solving pain points. And then the FBA strategy, right? Like obviously you're going to be going ahead and doing Amazon FBA because it's going to be 1 or 2 day delivery system. And you want to have enough inventory spread out in the entire United States where everyone is available to go ahead and get it at 1 to 2 day shipping. So that's marketing 101. So what makes a good product or a good listing, right? Well, it's the STP, kind of the clarity framework. And number one is segmentation, right? Break the market into distinct groups based on needs, behaviors, characteristics. Not everyone is your customer. And let's take that ladder approach, like I mentioned before, right? Like the thing is that not everyone is your customer, especially in that ladder example. If you have the cheapest price possible, you're getting someone that just needs a ladder one time out of the entire year, maybe to hang up Christmas trees, right? as opposed to somebody else that's going ahead and trying to figure out different pain points, they're going to go ahead and be using that ladder oftentimes. So they're going to understand pain points that the cheapest type of ladder cannot solve, right? After that is targeting. Choose the specific segmentation you'll dominate. Focus on what creates power. Trying to serve everyone dilutes your message and weakens your position. So once you've established who you're going after, focus on that customer avatar 100%. Every secondary image, every bullet point, every A+ content has to have your customer avatar in mind, right? And that's the person that's actually purchasing your product. And then positioning, right? Define how you want to be perceived in your target's mind, right? Clear positioning drives better messaging, better conversion rate, and better organic rank, like I mentioned before. Everything has to be about that person that you are targeting in mind, right? So focus on a specific avatar isn't limiting. It's literally strategic. It creates clarity and translates directly into stronger metrics, better ranking, and higher valuation. If you can literally tell me who your end customer is, I know that you built a business based on you trying to exit this actual business. And valuations go up based on that. Because now every decision that you made with your Amazon FBA business has the customer avatar in mind. And how do you scale efficiently, effectively, and how should it look like, right? And this is what Ansoff Matrix is all about. And it's basically sequencing growth basically at the least amount of risk as possible. Because when you talk to everybody when it comes to Amazon FBA, they're always basically trying to come out with the next home run product. And I've been a victim of this, where I just want to throw spaghetti at the wall, come out with as many products as possible, and hopefully I come out with a home run winning product, right? But there's frameworks already involved. There's so many brands that have been built over the last hundreds, right, of years. We're talking about millions of brands that have went ahead and came, left, failed, succeeded. And this is basically the framework that's been, proven to be the less riskiest as possible. Number one, market penetration. So once you've already come out with the product, that's trying to test as many things as possible to try and get a sale to your customer avatar. So first, dominate your existing market with your current products, right? Increase share, optimize conversion, maximize penetration before trying to expand to everything. So if you have one product on Amazon right now, try and get as many people in your avatar as possible. So when it comes to Amazon FBA, come out with one product, go ahead and put all that ad spend into that one product, try and optimize based on what's actually converting. Go ahead and keep track of KPIs, which is key performing indexes, which the main ones is impressions, click-through rate, conversion rate, right? And try and maximize that as much as possible before moving on to the next step, which the next step is product development, right? So once you've established a winning product, now it's time to develop products, right? So next, introduce new products to your existing customer base. Leverage your established audience and brand trust to expand on your catalog. So what does this mean? Coming out with different variations of the same product. You don't want to be targeting different people, right? So let's say you already have one home run hitting product. Instead of you trying to test out a brand new product to a brand new audience, go ahead and milk the product as much as you can. And that's by giving the customer more options. You've already proven that the conversion rate, the click-through rate, and everything is good. By you going ahead and introducing different variations of the same product, your conversion rate is going to go up, right? So this means coming out with different colors, different weight sizes, different scents of the same exact product. Maybe even different bundles of the same exact product. Basically, going ahead and creating different child ASINs of that same parent ASIN, right? Once you have milked everything you can go ahead and do, it's still not time to come out with a new product. We're talking about market development at that point in time, right? After that is done, take your proven products into new markets or customer segmentations, right? Geographic expansion or demographic shifts come after product market fit. So once you know that this product is doing extremely well and you've mastered Amazon, right, with this one particular product and you have all these different variations, the next step is to actually do market development, which means go ahead and still target the same customer avatar, but in different markets, right? In my case, this means Not only am I targeting Amazon US, now I'm going into Canada, now I'm going into Mexico, now I'm going to the UK, now I'm going to the EU, now I'm going to Australia, then I'm going to Brazil. You know what I'm going ahead and talking about here, right? Because reviews transfer over. And that's the biggest factor here, because you can forecast all these different types of success stories with a new product, but it's still very risky. When the most valuable thing on Amazon, in my opinion, is reviews. So once those stick, you can go onto any other marketplace and those reviews are going to go ahead and stick, right? So that's my market development. Maybe your market development, you might have a strength of going ahead and doing TikTok Shop or other types of, outlets, Shopify, this and that. Once you've already proven demand on Amazon, go there afterwards. And then, and only then, is diversification. Finally, new products in a new market. And by what I mean by new market, it just means a different customer avatar, right? This is the highest risk and should only happen after previous stages are solid and generating consistent returns. So now that you've come out with one product that's super good, you come out with different variations, different counts, right? Now that is time, and you went into different markets already. That is when it's time to come out with a different product, because it's very risky, right? Sequencing matters. Brands that try to skip steps burn capital and lose focus. Trust me, it's happened to me before numerous times. Strategic growth follows this disciplined progression. And again, this is just frameworks that have been proven to work time and time again. Let's go after a different theory now, right? This is the jobs to be done theory. And what does this mean? Well, it's kind of the same kind of sequence that we've been discussing. People don't buy products. They hire them to accomplish specific jobs in their life. And if you understand this, reframes everything about how you build and market. Again, if you understand pain points and insecurities of people and why they're purchasing your actual product, you will literally market everything so much differently, because now you have basically tunnel vision and a roadmap of how you're going to do secondary imaging, bullet points, A+ content, all of that, right? It's very important. And every purchase decision has functional, emotional, and social dimensions. Your yoga mat isn't just a surface. It's a hire to create a peaceful practice, signal wellness identity, and deliver self-improvement goals, right? So you're not just buying a mat. You're literally buying this. That's the pain point that you currently have, right? You're joining yoga to have a different meaning of life, basically. And it starts with you purchasing a yoga mat. And if you can go ahead and translate that and understand why your customer avatar is on your listing page and you create a listing for them, you're going to convert at a higher margin. Identity creates stickiness, right? When a customer sees your product as part of who they are or who they want to become, they just don't buy, they commit. Right? And this is why people get repeat purchases, lifetime value of an actual customer. This is the foundation of repeat purchases and brand loyalty that drives valuations, even on Amazon. People love to say that Amazon isn't a brand building thing. It totally is. People are just don't know what they're going ahead and talking about, right? And then basically category entry points and subcategories, right? So Amazon rewards clarity. The algorithm favors brands that have a clear positioning. When Amazon understands exactly what you are and who you serve, it rewards you with visibility and relevance. This is why sometimes you try and maybe target one certain keyword and you don't get impressions because Amazon doesn't think you'll convert for the actual keyword, or they've tried before and it hasn't worked. So they know that this customer isn't going to find any relevance in your actual product, right? So category king strategy. Don't compete in a crowded category. Create your own dimensions of differentiality, right? Be the best in a specific subcategory rather than mediocre in a broad one. This is very important. People love to go after high search volume keywords, which is fine, but if you do not get any traction there, try and still go after the low-hanging fruit with smaller search volume keywords. And basically kind of own the entry point, right? When a customer think of a specific need or use case, your brand should be the immediate answer. This is mental real estate and what creates defensible market positioning. Again, don't go after everybody. Be that ladder for that contractor where you're going to have a lot more margin and a better customer overall, right? So pricing psychology, basically the value of signaling and everything like that. Basically premium pricing, how you get a margin advantage, perceived quality as well by you going ahead and doing all of this, right? And premium pricing equals brand power. And again, I have brands right now, products right now that are the highest priced products and are still the best sellers, right? And it allows me to be able to use all of these different frameworks and still have enough margin at the end of the day. And then, like I mentioned before, that moat. Like, why do people buy Apple stock, right? Why do people buy Peloton stock, which has gotten beat up over the last years based after what happened in 2020? But you get a moat, and people think by moat, they think they have to go ahead and create the next Apple or the next Peloton or the next Spotify or the next any company that you can go ahead and think of, right? The thing is that when a buyer is purchasing a brand, a moat can literally be you having the best terms with your freight forwarder or the best terms with your supplier, because now you've unlocked the ability to scale and grow way faster than if they were to try to go ahead and do it from scratch, right? That's the main thing why people purchase brands, is that they know starting from scratch is risky. So creating that moat and being able to be defensible as well. So maybe having a transparency program, maybe having a different ad strategy than somebody else, something where you have an advantage over the competition. So it could literally be a design IP or exclusivity, right? Like I've had instances where my manufacturer only works with me because I order so much in volume, right? So being able to go ahead and work with some suppliers that offer you the cheapest price possible and with terms on top of that as well can go ahead and kind of help you out. And supply chain control, right? Direct manufacturer relationship, exclusive agreements, optimize logistic, create cost and quality advantages like I mentioned before. And again, going ahead and maybe starting a Facebook group or something like that, where you have a community in mind, where you're able to go ahead and get some retention off of Amazon, obviously is valuable as well. So again, something that basically cannot be copied in 90 days, right? The thing is that Amazon FBA has always been this thing where like any copycat can come in here and just copy you and knock you off, and now you got to start all over again, right? So moats are what private equity firms pay premiums for. Build a defensive brand, do this and that, and you'll be able to go ahead and kind of be at the forefront of this. And if you like the way I go ahead and teach, again, I don't really pitch this until the very end of the videos because I only want to get people that are actual serious about Amazon FBA and actually sellers right now. Join our group. And like right now it's only $99 per month. And obviously this price will go up based on more people going ahead and joining. But right now we currently only have 28 members. So we have basically a calendar set up. Like we have a guest speaker this upcoming Thursday that is a top merger and acquisition person that has closed numerous deals. So if you guys are interested in going ahead and join the school community, you get classroom settings, you'll be able to unlock all the stages as far as going ahead and being a successful Amazon FBA seller. You get access to all of these different office hours, Q&A sessions, guest speakers. You also get access one-on-one with me as well, how I build brands, how I've helped other people go ahead and build those brands. If you guys are interested, go ahead and check out that link below. But if not, I hope you found value on this actual video, because if you guys did stay to the very end and took a lot of notes, you're going to be ahead of, I want to say, 85% of sellers. Trust me on that. If you guys appreciate anything I said in this actual video, like this actual video, get it to more people that are in Amazon FBA. Comment below if it helped you out. But until next time, guys, peace.